Tonight's smoking adventure is Rocky Patel Sun Grown. It's about a 52 ring and 6 inches long. Got a spicy smell to it, and I'll read a description on it. Rocky Patel Sun Grown is full of bold, rich flavors that consist of white pepper, spice, molasses, and roasted espresso with a hint of sweet tobacco. The 5-year-old Ecuadorian sun-grown wrapper hits you in the nose. Yep, it does. When you ignite the cigar, the Dominican and Nicaraguan spice washes over your palate, and you think you just lit up a Cuban. A medium to full-bodied cigar with a long and full finish. It topped the charts with an impressive 9.8 out of 10 points in Smoke magazine. Well, I am also, like the rest, looking forward to seeing how this turns out. Well, I clipped it already. Got a little bit of end sticking out right there. Look at the close up. The cigar was a little dry, not quite as humid as I like it when I clipped it. Well, I'll light it up and get back. Well, it took a little while to get it lit. A couple of hits with my barbecue lighter. Had to blow on the end a little bit to distribute the fire around. But starting off, first couple of puffs, enjoyable, a little strong, but let's see how it goes. I'm getting into this Rocky Patel Sun Grown, and it started out just a little bit harsh at the beginning, but now it's very enjoyable, and it has a little bit of sweetness to it. The burn is beautiful on the cigar. It's drawing very nicely, and the taste is wonderful. Well, I know I will enjoy this one as I get towards the end. That hint of espresso is there. The Rocky Patel Sun Grown is an excellent cigar. Burns nice. It's still smooth going down. Like a nice glass of wine, which I don't drink, but like a nice glass of wine. So I got a little story to tell, and this happened when my wife and I were visiting relatives in Midland, North Carolina. So we decided to go out to dinner, and I didn't know where to go, so our relatives took us out, and we went up to Charlotte, and we were going to a restaurant that they particularly liked. Now I was driving, and I had my 2006 Chrysler Hemi, and we're getting up into Concord, and I said, "Hey, I see up ahead, it looks like the Charlotte Raceway." And my nephew said, "Yeah, that's it." So we're going towards the raceway, and we're on a wide boulevard. And it's not quite an expressway with limited access, it's just a wide boulevard. And I'm doing about 60 miles an hour, which is typical for what I'm going to do on a non-expressway situation. And as we get closer to the raceway, cars started passing me. And so I pumped it up to 70 miles an hour. And I'm going along, and cars are passing me again. Well, I shot it up. I'm not going to be left behind. And I put it up to 80 miles an hour. And I'm looking around, and we're getting closer to the raceway, and even old ladies are passing me. I said, what's going on here? So I hit it up to 90 miles an hour. And finally around 90, 95 miles an hour, I started catching up with traffic. And everybody was doing 90 to 100 miles an hour on this road going right past the raceway. I've never been on a road like that where people were actually racing. And they weren't racing each other. This is just the way they were driving. And it was amazing. We were doing 90, 95 miles an hour through this entire area in front of the racetrack. And I couldn't believe it. I figured out that there was a psychology at work. That people who drive around that raceway, something happens to their minds and they just start gunning it. And no one was looking around as if they were racing. They were just moving. I've never been on a highway where people were moving so fast. And I think it's the spirit of the raceway gets into them and they really take off. The Rocky Patel Sun Grown was a real pleasure to smoke last night. And rating wise, I'd definitely give it a 92. Very enjoyable. I didn't have any complaints throughout the smoke. The following is a picture I took in 2006 of my 2006 Chrysler Hemi, which I drove in my story of going in front of the Charlotte Raceway on Concord Drive. I really enjoyed this Hemi. I had it for about 14,000 miles and it was very quick. This is the 5.7 engine, 8-cylinder, and it really flew. The only bad thing about it was that around 70 miles an hour it would flatten out and wouldn't do anymore. And then you go into kind of a cruise mode. Well, I got rid of that. It was a lease, and I replaced it with a 2008 Cadillac CTS with a 3.6 engine. And that was quick, but not as quick as this Hemi. But the good thing about the Cadillac is when you floored it, it just kept going. I get it up to about 80, 90 miles an hour, and I just backed off because the car wouldn't stop running. So this is the picture of the Hemi.